Hi, this is John Lewis. The recording that you're about to watch, or the video that you're about to watch, this is basically from a video that we did January the 2nd, 2025. And this is an astrological forecast based on my insight, intuition, and things that I felt that was going to be taking place. This is actually the second half of that video that was published on January the 2nd, the astrological forecasting part of it here. Nothing has been added to it, but I think that it's relevant and a reminder since we're moving into a new season, and much of this part of the video will cover that. So, hope you enjoyed the video, learn something, and of course, whenever we're doing these types of videos regarding astrological forecasting, prophetic events, or revealing the things that will be happening in the future, we always tell everybody to pray about these things because we do understand and realize the power of prayer that is able to change things and also able to soften the impact of things that we see that are coming up on the land, things that are revealed in the heavens, things that are revealed by visions, dreams, prophecy, and many other ways that the Most High uses to speak to us and through us. So here we go. So now in January the 11th, there will be another nodal shift. These are the lunar nodes. The north node will be in, let's see, the north node will be in Pisces, and the south node will be in Virgo. Okay, north node, okay, in Pisces, which is a water sign. And then you're going to find the south one that is in Virgo here. So what is happening here? Okay, this is a shift in consciousness. It's a major, major event that is taking place that the heavens are telling us about. And see, Pisces controls the realm of religion, faith, and things like that, the dream world, all of that. But it also rules the world of deception, illusion, drugs, and those things too. And whereas Virgo rules the world of like health, our goals, and work, and even our pets. And so you're going to find some major things happen over the next, like say, 18 months in the realm of religion, as it were. And in this country here, you're going to find, as well as in other countries, the leaders are going to take a strong stance against certain religious or spiritual people and going to make war against them. And you might say, well, not in this country, here, not in America. You watch in the next 18 months, within that time, you will see things begin to change. And there will be more censorship. There will be more of clampdowns on things. And I'll get more into that in another maybe message or something. But at the same time, the heavens are telling us to watch out for our health, because I believe that the powers that be will be releasing some other type of virus, disease, or something. And I believe that there will be some type of an announcement that will be made known somewhere between the 11th and the 15th of January. Mark it on your calendars. Between the 11th and 15th of January, there will be some things in the news regarding a scare of some some type of disease or some type of potential virus or pandemic rising up. Okay, and because you have this aspecting Mars, which is going to bring anxiety to a lot of people, and you will have this with the new moon. This is the new moon on the 13th. The new moon will be in Cancer, and it's going to be conjunct with Mars, and it's going to be trining Neptune. in Pisces. So, oh my God. So that is showing us the media that's going to be involved there, but it's showing some deception and it's showing some things that are not really the truth that's going to be spread forth, because you have the Neptune aspect of it there, which seeks to deceive and bring illusions and distort things, and then you have the Mars that is triggering this, bringing anxiety and fear. And this new moon is happening in Cancer. That means your house, your home, the things that's close to you, right? Okay. And so we have that whole scenario that is coming up around the middle of the month, and there will be some announcements made about this. Okay. Now, we get to the 20th of January. This is the day of inauguration. Now, I believe that you will probably see a chart there. And you can see on the chart that the Sun and Pluto will be conjunct at 0 degrees and to 1 degrees there, in Aquarius, with a Mars trigger in opposition at 24 degrees of Leo. Now that's crazy. That's on the day, that's at the exact time that the inauguration of President-elect Trump is to be inaugurated. That is not a good sign, okay? Because what the heavens are showing us is this, that number one, you have the sun. It represents, in this way that I'm seeing this, represents the leader of a country. Then you have the conjunct with Pluto, which is the god of death. Okay, there's two parts to Pluto. Pluto also does represent wealth and things. So we see this, but I want to just deal with this other side now, because yes, there will be some wealth generated for a season before the major crash in this country happens, and people will get excited and they will be kind of taken off guard, and they will lose their sight of what is really happening, looking at what appears to be happening. I'm just telling you before time what will be. And so that's why I said things will be happening so fast. If you blink, you're going to miss something. But on the other side, you see the Sun and Pluto that is going to be conjunct at 0 to 1 degrees there in Aquarius. And so this is speaking of President-elect Trump, and this is showing us that his life is going to be in danger. And this is a trigger there because you see that the opposition, Mars, which means weapons, warfare, aggression, and stuff, you see that is at 24 degrees in Leo. A Leo, again, meaning the leader, okay, the ruler. So now this is not only for this country here, but especially for this country here, since it is happening at the exact time of the inauguration. But what the heavens are showing us, that leaders and politicians, CEOs, celebrities, and I emphasize that, you are about to see in this year sudden death, removal of people. And a lot of this is going to come through bloodshed, weapons, and violence and things. Just people are going to be violently just removed and taken out, kind of like the healthcare CEO. All right. I'm just saying, because that's what the heavens are showing. And you have a lot of vigilante type people that's going to start to rise up. But this placement also gives the idea of burning down the seat of power. Burning down the seat of power, because you have the sun that close to Pluto, which makes it combust, or burning it down, right? And then you have it in Aquarius there, and you have the trigger with Mars, which is bringing in another element of violence by weapons or things of that sort. And so I am not saying that President-elect Trump will be killed or assassinated on the day of inauguration. I'm only telling you what the heavens are saying, and that you need to probably pray for your president. Some of you people out there, right? And so I'm interpreting that this is what is going to be happening. I'm going to show you the most vulnerable time for him. When I first started Rising Mystics, I did a message based on a chart I had cast for Trump. He was in power at the time. And I told the mystics, I said that I see that the heavens are saying there is going to be something. I thought that would probably be in his first, when he was president back then. I said something major will happen in the thoracic area. And I says, I see this arrow, and it was like basically through astrology as well as my intuition and vision. I says the heart in the thoracic area, that's where there's going to be a major health scare. So this came back to me again as I was looking at this chart here. And so there's two things that's going to be happening that's going to put him in danger. It's going to be a health scare, which may not be made known to the public right away, but it's going to be so. It's going to be there, and little rumors will come out. And there's also a chance of another assassination attempt, where I don't just see him just crossing over yet or anything right away, but that's what the heavens are basically saying, and that is the tone of 2025 for the leadership of this country, and even into 2026. So now this Sun and Pluto conjunct at 0 to 1 degrees in Aquarius is also showing us that it is signifying upheaval, sudden changes, and a roller coaster economy for 2025. So you're going to see major highs and major lows. Everybody's going to be excited. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Wow, look at this economy. Look at what is happening. Then there's going to be drops. And then it's going to come back up. Whoops. And then it's going to be dropped. And you're going to see the same thing in the crypto space. And we'll talk more about that maybe a little bit later or in another video. Okay. And so now, January the 21st. Through the 25th, there's an event that's happening in the heavens where 6 planets will align. You're going to have Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus all align. That is major. It's starting off this month. But on the, hang on the 28th, I'm going to skip to February, the 28th of February, there's going to be a grand alignment of 7 planets. 7 planets. Now, the scientists, astrophysicists say that this will not happen again for another 22 million years. So this is an event of the lifetime where Saturn, Mercury, Neptune, Sun and Moon, and the North Node literally will all be in Pisces. Okay, so you have Saturn, Mercury, Neptune, Sun, Moon in Pisces, and the North Node, which is not a planet, but it's there. And then you're going to have Venus, Uranus, Jupiter, and Mars. They're going to all be lined up. You will see them in the sky, something that you have never seen before. A stellium is going to take place in Pisces, foreshadowing water events, because Pisces element is water. And when you have this much energy that is going to be compressed and compiled there, and they're going to be there for many of them will yet be there for a long time, conjunct for months. It is showing us to really prepare for water events to take place. Some of these water events are going to take place. I'm not laughing, but with people with leaks in their homes, with pipes bursting and things bursting, and you don't know why these are happening, leaks in the roofs and things that's been fixed before. But this is all showing you that the water is breaking, spiritually speaking. If you understand what I'm saying, you're about to give birth to something very powerful, something very strong. The water is breaking. And so 2025 is a year of water events like you've never seen before. There's going to be just unprecedented snowfall that will cover houses in parts of the world. You will see it flashed on TV. And then when all of this snow and ice melt, it's going to create so much flooding, even in this country here. But this is globally water events that will take place. And I heard the Spirit say when I was putting this together the other day, and he says the waters of the oceans will come upon the land. I'm going, oh my God. And that's when he said that there will be tsunamis. And I'm saying with an S on the more than one that will come forth, within this year, tsunamis that will be taking place in various places. Okay, so we have that going on. I want you to watch and to be aware of that, the water events, especially if you live in an area where it's prone to flooding. And unfortunately, boy, the southeast is going to really just get hit again very hard, like, later on in this year with these floods and with the hurricanes and the storms and things that's going to be coming through the areas of Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama, but especially Florida and the Carolinas, and up in that area there will be hit very hard with these things. As well as, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, I saw the country of Brazil being hit very hard. It would seem like multiple major water events. It's like, I don't know anything if they have dams or whatever, but I saw something breaking, and I saw water just flowing and just seemingly like wiping out villages of people. So we want to be praying and holding these things in prayer, as well as the Southeast and America, as well as Asia and stuff, where things will be happening. But this is going to be all over the world, where these water events that will be happening. So, and things that's going to be taking place. Mars will be in Cancer, and which is a water sign. And so I believe I was saying this last week on Monday, that during this time, I would say maybe in May, especially around May, the third week or so of May, that's going to be a peak point. But March and April and October, March, April, October, those are also peak times for major water events, for tsunamis and things, and things happening in the sea. What I saw was like, it was going to be a vulnerable time for like war. See, it was as if someone will shoot a missile or drop a bomb on a ship and maybe a submarine. Also, there's going to be more than one event happening. It's going to be crazy. And but you're going to see these events happening at sea. You're going to see large boats like ships capsizing. It is also a time where there'll probably be disruption of the shipping lanes. Okay, this is beyond what is happening over by the Red Sea, but this is in other parts of the world. There's going to be just this. Just disturbance. See, that's the only word that I can feel and see that's going to be coming forth. And so March, April, and October are peak times for that. But regarding this, that's going to be happening in May, I feel that there's going to be some type of warfare. I believe that maybe China could be making some moves also against Taiwan around that time. I feel that also that it'll be a time where even in this country here, that some things could be happening. Not just people setting off IEDs, but as I said, I think a few months ago in one of our classes, I saw missiles coming into this country. This is not from people inside the country, but outside of the country. So we need to be prepared and need to just think about this and pray about it, and just say, not for me. Just believe that you will not be affected by this. So a lot of that energy is building up for around May, okay, and around the third week of May, and that. Okay, so we're also coming into eclipse season in March 13, 14, depending on where you live. There's going to be a blood moon total lunar eclipse. The sun and the moon. It's going to be the sun in Pisces, and the moon is going to be in Virgo. Time is going to be about 8:57 Pacific Standard Time. Okay, that is March 13, 14, March 13. And it's going to be a total lunar eclipse. It's a blood moon eclipse. The moon will literally turn red. And again, you have this energy happening in Pisces, which is a water sign again. And so again, emphasizing on the rains and the floods and the various things that will be happening at sea around water situations and things. Okay. And On the 29th of March, there will be a total solar eclipse. So we're coming into this eclipse season at 8:08 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sun will have moved to Aries. Okay. And so that is warfare. That is showing us that this is where we're headed, as in this nation, as well as many nations around the world. Okay, that's what is happening. But you can say, not for me. We're going to only conduct spiritual warfare. That's the kind of warfare that we're going to be involved in. Okay, March the 30th, there is Neptune is going to move into Aries. Now that's big. So we have a lot of things that's going to be happening after that. We're going to move into a different phase there. And so we have Neptune, as I said, which represents the realm of religion, faith, and things like that, spirituality, vision, and all of that. And then you have it transit into Aries, which is going to fight against people of faith. So there's going to be a spirit, if you will, that's going to rise up in this country, as well as around the world, and from the mouths of a lot of from people that a lot of folks in this country are going to be surprised. Okay, and so they will begin to attack belief systems, and especially those who are, outside of the box. All right. Now, big turning point I wrote down because that's what I felt. Major challenges in April through May. See, this movement of Neptune transited into Aries at the end of March is setting things up. Matter of fact, all of the events that I just told you, the movements from January 3 are preparing us for the major changes and challenges that's coming up in April and May and beyond. So, number one, there is a spirit of chaos and lawlessness. That's the only way I can describe it, that has been released in this country that will be affecting the whole world. And it's already starting now. You see what is happening. And so people don't realize sometimes that leaders that are elected, we all have this energy or this spirit, right? And whatever spirit that we are functioning in, it can be transmitted, into the nation, especially if you're a leader, world leader, it would be translated into the world scene. And so there's a spirit of chaos and lawlessness that's going to be manifesting globally, and it's going to be really crazy. And I see people just scratching their head and sitting in front of their TVs with their mouths open, just, I can't believe this, that type of thing, scenario I'm seeing. And I'm also seeing that there is going to be a major shakeup in Trump's cabinet administration, some changes, big changes that he's going to make. Some people that are in positions now will not be in positions come April and May because some major changes will take place. And I think what may be even more shocking is some of the people that's going to replace them. So expect this between April and May, some major changes in the Trump administrations. Also, it's not going to be a very good time for Trump because of that Sun Pluto that is conjunct there on the inauguration date, and that is being triggered by Mars. That trigger effect is going to move into this space, into the April time, where his life will be in danger, where there could most likely be some type of assassination attempt or something against his life. And those of you that have followed our ministry know that 2 weeks before the assassination attempt that happened to Trump, I announced it and I posted it on the YouTube channel and told people, you better pray for your president because his life is in danger. And I even gave the date, the time frame where it would happen. So now I'm telling you again that especially around April, that is the kind of like the peak of that energy where his life will be in danger again. And this is not only through maybe some health scare, but also some type of violence. Also, between April and May, there is a high possibility of some major earthquake activity in this country here. In this country here, we had spoken about the earthquake that would take place in California. That happened 7 point off the coast of Northern California. Spoke about the earthquakes that would take place along the New Madrid fault line. Those began to happen. Those were minor ones, and they're still happening just a few days ago. And so I believe that there's going to be an increase of that, and that the New Madrid fault line will see earthquakes above 6 on the Richter scale. And so we want to just be praying about that, and just keep that in mind. Okay, now there's going to also be, let's see, in April and May, most of the planets will begin to conjunct. Okay, they will begin to conjunct. So there's going to be an emphasis on healthcare and pharmaceutical things, because they're going to be announcing some big changes. Okay, this is where some of the announcements are going to come out of these big changes that's going to be taking place, and this is partially a result of the nodal changes with the south node that will be in the sixth house of Virgo there, which represent health and things like that, but is also showing us to be aware of things. And so April and May, as I say, is a big turning point and major challenges also. Some get things, but some major challenges. I'm going to say this, and so I'm going out on a limb. There's going to be some type of, I believe, a bomb or explosion, and I feel it's going to be in the northeast coast, somewhere around New York, Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania or New Jersey area, somewhere around that area there is, I was picking up that. And so we want to be praying about that. And that is most likely will be happening between April and May. And I'll say it this way, that's when they are planning for it. And because those of you that have followed our ministry know that sometimes I can tell you, I can see where people are planning things, and we pray about things and the plan is foiled. Okay, it is uncovered. And then they go back and it comes out in the news. They have been preparing for this since this time, or this date. And so, and it lines right up. So I'm telling you that there is a plan that is in place, that's being put together. And so we can be praying about that. And so that's around the April-May period. Okay. And that's on the East Coast. Now, June, July, and August, Saturn and let's see, I believe Saturn, and Neptune is going to be conjunct in Aries. Okay, and Mars is going to yet be the trigger there. It's just amazing, just what is happening with the astrology this year, and so. Mars is representing fires, and in this respect here, we're seeing not only just threats of violence, but we're seeing firestorms, and we're seeing like a lot of things burning, like in this country as well as in other countries around the world. This is going to also trigger just extreme heat, solar cycle 25 on steroids, with solar flares that will be affecting communications and other things on the planet that I'm just seeing this now, where they're going to just begin to discover or begin to say that this is a result of the solar flares that are happening. So there's going to be a major uptick in these solar flares, and there's most likely going to be some type of major earthquake in Southeast Asia. I'm looking at, seems like close to Indonesia area there. And there's going to be June, July, August, a lot of storms. Again, as I said earlier, we're watching Brazil, because I could see things happening there, and I can see tsunamis coming. And we see that all of this is being triggered by these Mars that is triggering things in the fire and water signs. Okay, fire and water signs. Okay. July 7th through November, we're going to go into November now and just wrap this up. July 7th through November, Uranus, I believe it's November 7th, but don't quote me on that, but sometime in November. Uranus, well, that means Uranus, which is in the house of Taurus right now, the house of finances and stuff, is going to move out of the house of finance and move into Gemini. And so what I see that means is basically that this is money that's going to be moving for one thing, and it's showing the volatility that's going to be there because it's going to move into this air sign. But another thing this is also showing us is that Gemini is representing the digital world, the crypto world, and things of that sort. And we find that Uranus moving there is basically showing us to prepare for that. And I believe, as I said the other night in our class, that the crypto market, for example, Bitcoin and things like that, it's gonna come back again. It's gonna rise up again. And right now, I believe it is. People are a little bit afraid because it went down to, I believe, 92K or so. I haven't seen it over the past day, but they have. But it's going to rise again, and especially as we get closer to the election time, and this is going to go on all the way till about, like, I would say toward the end of February maybe, and then it's going to seem to maybe dip again. The markets are, and then up around March, around the spring equinox, there should be an upward turn again for that, and then a leveling off again around May, and then there could be some type of just drop, but it will be back. Okay, but just keep that in mind. And I'm not a financial advisor or anything. I'm just reading the heavens the way I see it and the way I feel that things are going to be moving. So back to this Uranus that's going to be transiting Gemini. Speaking of a lot of things there, I'm just dealing specifically at that point with the financial world. But, you know, the last time that Uranus transited Gemini and stayed there for a while was in 1941 through 1945. What was that? World War II. And then the time before that, when Uranus transited Gemini, it was 1860 through 1865. What was that? The Civil War. The time before that, when Uranus transited Gemini, was 1774 through 1782. What was that? The Revolutionary War. So what am I saying? There's nothing new under the sun. That's what the great man King Solomon said, which also understood the sciences of the heavens. And we can understand the sciences of the heavens because we know that the Most High created them to tell a story, and we understand their light language, and they repeat the light language by moving into specific positions, showing us that what was is going to happen again. And so just as we've been talking about wars and things like that, the heavens again is showing us that between July and November, some things will be happening in the world, on the world scene, but also in this country that could lead to civil war, that could lead to a lot of civil unrest, that could lead to martial law, and could lead to curfews and a lot of things happening, and could lead to things happening as these wars were not only like just civil war, but these were foreign wars. And so, as I said earlier, I see wars from within and from without coming to the United States of America. I see people from within, but I see also missiles and bombs coming from other nations into this country. And so we're just being prepared for this because things are going to be moving fast. So war will be breaking out in many parts of the world. and especially around that time. So if you watch, if you are a watcher, as I am, you will see these things happening. Matter of fact, it's going to get dire for Europe and the European nations because they're going to be threatened by Russia's advancements and aggression. Okay, especially around that time. And it's going to become very unsettling for many of the European nations. The social unrest is going to begin to take off in various countries, France, Switzerland, Germany, all over there. And as I've told you for since 2023, I believe it was, that Macron, I think he's going to be forced out. He will be forced to resign, and that will probably be happening very soon, very soon. And so there's going to be social arrest. There's going to be a breaking down of the governments and of the peoples. There is really, and as I was looking at this in the spirit and just hearing the things that was going on, it was really just disturbing. Okay, and because there's going to be a lot of leaders that's going to be changed. Some will be resigned and removed in various ways, and especially during this time frame, okay, where a lot of this will just kind of like come to the surface. You're going to also see the NATO nations, the alliance that they've had and stuff, that's going to somehow be falling apart, possibly having to do with some of the things that Trump is doing and with tariffs and other things. But there's things going to begin to fall apart. And they're going to be reconsidering. They're going to be considering a new type of alliance that's going to be formed over there. Their economy is going to be teetering as the leaders scramble to hang on to power and to pull their nations together. The euro is going to drop, and it's going to be really a crazy thing, chaos. That is the word that I'm seeing and hearing that's going to be taking place in many European nations. And on top of that, with the threat of war and with other things that's going to be happening that may, where missiles may be fired, I feel, on the continent, besides what is going on in Ukraine and stuff. There's going to be something happening, and I don't understand it. And it's probably, and it's going to be some type of autoimmune disease. It's going to be some type of, they may call it a pandemic, because a lot of people are going to be getting this, and it's going to really attack the autoimmune system. And I'm not a doctor. I don't know the language. I just know what I'm sensing and hearing. And so that's something to be praying about, but it's going to really affect a lot of the Western nations. And so it's going to be displacement. I just saw displacement of tens of millions of people worldwide. That's going to be happening this year due to the wars, the famine, the disease, and the natural disasters. Okay. And the April 2025 trigger is going to trigger that. That's why I said when we get to, there is a big turning point just after Neptune transits into Aries. Things are going to really just seem to accelerate, and people will be displaced worldwide through wars, famine, disease, and natural disaster. And this is going to go on until at least 2027. All right. So Mars in Leo. Leo represents entertainment. And then I see that it is in opposition with Pluto there. And as the sun comes closer there. And so I'm seeing just major changes in the entertainment industries. And just it seems like people, a lot of leaders, I don't want to say just gonna just die, but they're gonna just they're gonna be removed. I should say things are gonna be happening with a lot of big name athletes and stars, as well as celebrities. There's a big just change that's gonna happen in both of those industries this year, and I'll maybe talk more about that another time. Okay, so let me finish out this year. Okay, back to the emphasis on digital currency that is coming up with the movements of the heavens when Uranus moves into Gemini. Okay, And so you need to be prepared for that, because they are preparing you for the big change, because the dollar is being phased out. And so their plans are that by spring of 2026, that everybody, or I would say most of the people in this country and in the Western world, will be acclimated to the digital currencies that they will be introducing. And because around that time, that's when the dollar dies. I mean, when I say dies, I don't mean that it's not going to be used again, but it's going to become less relevant than it was before the paper money. Then we have on the 9th of September, there's a lunar eclipse, yet into eclipse season, and that lunar eclipse is in Aries, okay? And the sun will be in Virgo. And then on the 24th, there is a partial solar eclipse, okay, with the sun, moon in Virgo, all right? So I think I'm going to stop there. I've shared probably more than what I wanted to share. And so just realize, as I said earlier, that the watchers, we are the watchers, and we're only declaring what we hear and what we see, and that the Most High rules in the kingdoms of men. And there's a great work that is happening. This is the year of revelation of many things. And so we want to make sure that we make the right choices, and that we be aware, be woke, because things are going to be happening very fast if you sleep. God bless you and your family and all that you are concerned about in this wonderful year 2025. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, go in peace.